Hey everybody, my name is Kai Miller. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised, and I am 23 years old. A little backstory on my education and job history. I worked for Dish Network for about a year and a half, and then I went over to Geek Squad, Best from Geek Squad at Best Buy. So I'm a former Geek Squatter. I guess you can say I've always been into tech. Tech is my passion. I just love dealing with technology and just dealing with everything that makes technology operates. That's just makes me even more excited. As far as my education, I am a former student at Lincoln University. I was there studying computer science, and I was there up until my junior year, or actually after my junior year. Then life happened, and then that actually caused me to come back home. So from there, it kind of put a wrench into my plans. So I did some research. Upon my research, I actually found out about boot camps. So I did a lot of searching about boot camps, and then later down the line, 2 3 weeks, I actually figured I kind of want to stay home. I kind of want to stay local. So let's look for some local boot camps. Then I found Savvy Coders, and I am so glad. One of the main things that made me go with Savvy Coders is their personable relationship with their students. So when I was searching all of the other boot camps that was like all around out of state, remotely out of state, things of that nature. A lot of things that I read up on as far as reviews is that they leave students behind. So if you fall behind, you kind of get left behind, and just so be it. You can try to join the next cohort. With Savvy, I didn't see that at all. I seen a bunch of reviews with people basically saying the TAs and the instructors will walk you through as long as you want to get through. Um, so I actually, I looked at that and I was like, why not? Let's go for it. After having an interview and everything and going through the steps, I can actually quickly tell that the instructors and TAs actually care. So that was even better for me as well. Um, so let's go to the next thing. Let's talk about after getting into Savvy, let's talk about my capstone and my capstone idea. So my capstone idea is a traveling website that actually satisfies the user's traveling needs all in one site. So if you look at Southwest, if you look at travel.com, if you look at Airbnb.com, all of those different sites exclusively has, one aspect of traveling. None of them have everything put together. So my website is basically a challenge for those websites because all in all, the idea is to bring everything into one. Everybody isn't tech savvy, so it's kind of difficult for some people to go and do different sites, to go to Southwest to book a flight, go to Airbnb to book a Airbnb, then go over here and let's go book some entertainment. Then let's go book something to eat, things of that nature. I kind of wanted to eliminate all of the, just save the user a bunch of time, save the user a bunch of stress trying to figure out, where to go, what's the best deal for this, what's the best deal for that. So that was kind of the idea for my capstone. During the planning of my capstone with my peers, we actually had agile ceremonies, and before I talk about the agile ceremonies, I'll talk about my positions within those. So I did play the Scrum Master and I played a developer. So as a Scrum Master, things that I did there was I just kind of kept my group organized, and then I kept them communicating within each other, and I also made sure that if anybody had any blockers, I made sure that we everybody felt comfortable to reach out to their peers that were in our group before, reaching out and submitting the ticket and having to wait and so on and so forth. So that was kind of like my job as a scrum master. And as a developer, I basically just, sit back, we just basically attend a meeting, listen and just share our point of views on things and share our blockers, share some work, so on and so forth. So during our daily stand-ups, was kind of what I kind of explained it before. During our daily stand-ups, what we will do is we'll share our blockers, we'll share some code that we worked on, something we're proud of in that moment. We'll basically share um, this new functionality we implemented. We'll share this new background we learned how to shade a different way. This new button we created. Anything that we were proud of, that's what we would, display in the stand up. You don't always have to share your screen, but you definitely basically share what you've been working on, what you want to work on in the future, and then as well any blockers that you may have or may be having. We also did sprint planning and sprint reviews. So with the sprint planning, we basically like kind of planned out our week. We planned out like it kind of was like a structure for our capstone. So like what were we gonna work on this week? And then we kind of like put it into difficulty um between 1 through 5. And then, five being the hardest, one being the easiest, and then we kind of, work from there. And then, different sprint reviews would be, we maybe found after getting some experience with it, this maybe goes down to this number, this maybe goes up to this number. So that was the sprint reviews. And then as far as not the sprint reviews, that was the sprint planning. And then as far as the sprint retrospectives, what that was like, what do we feel that we did best? What do we feel like we can work on more? And then what I liked a lot is Savvy actually had a section for them, basically allowing us to give some constructive criticism on how do we think they can implement something to change the cohort for the better. So they were actually open to constructive criticism as well, not just self. So that was one thing that I really liked. Um, okay, I guess let's just dive into those wireframes. So let me share my screen here. So screen share, screen 2. Okay, so with my wireframe, this was my homepage. So a little bit about my homepage. I wanted a logo here, big as day. I didn't end up creating a logo. So for the background, I basically wanted it to be a variety of different places that you could visit. So it's kind of like I kind of wanted to aim towards like the top visited places. It's just eye appealing. You got your little arrows here pointing up, and then I also have my little tabs here. So you got a flight page, an eats page, entertainment page, and a sleep page. And then for my title of my website, I labeled it fees. That's just basically a super simple abbreviation for flight, eats, entertainment, and sleep. So easy as that. And then for page 2, this was my flights page. So for page 2, I wanted a map API. I wanted to use not a map API, a calendar API. I wanted to use a maps API. And then I have like a little carousel here, which basically will display like the results of what you entered. So let me elaborate on that. So for the calendar, you can basically put when you want to travel, the dates, and then you can put where to. And then after that, you can put the airline. So with those 3 different combinations, I wanted to be able to display information for basically what airline times was available for those 3 different criterias. And then I wanted to be like for the carousel, like you can basically press the arrow and it kind of like carousels through the different options, the different flight times, and included the prices on there, so on and so forth. So that was pretty much my idea for that. Thinking really big. Then on my third page, this was my rentals page. So for my rentals page, it was basically gonna be like all the sleeping areas. So hotels, Airbnbs, maybe a bed and breakfast, so on and so forth. I also wanted to implement that map API and that calendar API here. And then for the most popular rentals, I wanted to implement some type of API to where we can basically like it can pull like hotels and Airbnbs with great 5-star reviews and basically give you like display those different Airbnb options or hotel options, so on and so forth. And that would actually be filtered towards the rental type up here. So you would put like the rental type will be like a hotel or an Airbnb. And then basically there, it'll show you. So like if I put hotel, it'll show the most popular hotels. If I put the Airbnb, it'll show the most popular Airbnbs. And it would be strictly based off of that area. So once you put the where to, it will filter from the where to and filter from the rental type. And it'll give you those most popular rentals in that area. From that type of rental. And then down here, the little image displays here, what that basically is, That is just a criteria based off the where and the when and the rental type, not the most popular rentals, just the where, when, and rental type. And what that would basically do is show you the different options from whatever rental type that you put down there based off the location and based off of the dates. So whatever available during those dates at that location, it will show you this. Then um I had a little navigator down here, 1, 2, 3, 1 through whatever number slide you need for the available hotels or Airbnbs. You can just click through it and it will kind of like swipe through the different availables there. And that was pretty much it for my wireframes. So I learned pretty quickly once I started to code that coding takes a long time. So, I mean, something as small as a button and the functionality with that button can take you way longer than what I expected. So I definitely gained a lot of respect for developers because something that I viewed as, oh, that to be a slice of cake, turned out not to be a slice of cake. It turned out to be, very time consuming, way more time consuming than what I thought. So just under the time constraints, I had to kind of, scale it down a bit, scale it down a lot. All right, so let's jump into my homepage for my website. Okay, so this is my homepage to my website. As you can see, it is deployed to Netlify, and Netlify allows anybody to access it through the browser given that URL. So this is my homepage. With the background, I actually have all of my pictures have like a sort of like a tint on it. And I did that through my CSS. I added a tint on all of my background pictures because I kind of wanted everything to match. I was going for a lighter theme. That's why I kind of like got the white implemented here, white implemented at the bottom. I just wanted to look nice and modern. And, I got certain hover options on the button and, things of that nature. But as displayed here, it has my title, Flight, Eat, Entertainment, Sleep. And then it has a little quote here, all of your traveling needs in one place. There has never been a better place to satisfy your trip's vision. Down here is a future state that I want to implement. So I do have a page that is my experience page that I will be getting into in a second. And basically what I want that page to be able to do, see right now I just got a bunch of fillers. So for the flights page, that'll be reviews from there, each entertainment, sleep, so on and so forth. I have a lot of Latin fillers in there right now, just to get basically the eye appeal for it right now, without the functionality. But yeah, so basically that'll basically be a section where all the customer reviews from all the different pages can display on the home page, so you can get kind of like a taste. A main thing that I noticed about during my research when I was researching different flight apps and just traveling apps period, a lot of them don't have a review section, so there's not even a way to even find out if you're gonna get what you're paying for besides hearing word of mouth, from a friend or a colleague, or just taking it, just taking the flight yourself and finding out, oh man, this sucks. You know what I mean? So, just being able to have that option for flights, to be able to get a review on was another deal breaker for me that I actually liked. So upon pressing get started, that's gonna take you to my flights page. So with my flights page, um, I basically have this page to where you can choose an airline and then you can choose from where you want to depart from and then where you want to arrive to. And upon clicking search in a future state, what I would like to be implemented is basically some sort of um, like some form of data that shows how far they are from each other, so it can show this many miles apart or that many miles apart, and then maybe also showing like how long that flight would be. I guess I didn't consider like if flights have stops or not, but I guess I would just put it as like a flight that would, like, I guess assuming that the flight wouldn't have a stop, how long would it take to get from this state to that state or this city to that city, so on and so forth from there. The APIs that I did use, I had a custom API built, and then I had an open weather map API. So as you can see, 1 second, Wi-Fi is acting a little jumpy here. As you can see, yeah. So as you can see, the weather in St. Louis is clear. Temperature is 87 degrees, and it feels like 85 degrees. So you can see that API actually working. And then for the customer reviews, you can see I also actually want that experience page to shoot some data down here as well. So that's just a lot of fillers for right now. But future state, all of my reviews will actually pop up on the home page for different pages, and it will pop up on the flights page for different flights, on the page themselves, and in the home page that shows at least one review for each page. So that's another thing that I would like to implement. But there's that open weather map API working perfectly fine. And then we can go to the next slide. Let's see. So let's go to experience. Just wait on this. Internet. Just give it a sec to pop up on that experience page. And my experience page is basically a review page. So basically a customer can, or a client can submit they can submit a review for any flight. I have it set up specifically for flights right now. There we go. All right. So here, this is where I will display the API that I built. So if you come here, you can select an airline, and then you can leave a review. You don't have to go from this list. It's just a list that I basically, it saves presets, but you can literally go in here and type anything. Let's see. So if I go in here, you can type whatever. You don't have to go from the presets, but my computer just automatically saves, different things that I've entered just to prove that. Right now, they submit to the console because I didn't implement the where are we? Where are we? We're right here. Perfect. Because I didn't implement the functionality for it to submit to the homepage yet. So I actually just to make sure that my API actually worked, I have it submitting somewhere. So I have it submitting to the console. As you can see here, the different responses. So if you choose Southwest, I chose Southwest, enter great time, Delta, great time, Spirit, great time, Delta here. As you can see, I love the spacious seating. I love the spacious seating, so on and so forth. So you can see that they definitely print to the console. So that's a working API for sure. Um, so as far as my entertainment and sleeps page, I actually have those coming soon right now. They aren't fully developed just due to time constraints, but in the future, I would like to implement the entertainment and the sleep as well and have those looking very nice. I also, for the each page, I actually put a coming soon on there. Kind of like, I guess, like a quick little feature that I felt like it looked cool, I guess. I just did it for the each page, though, just coming soon in 35 days. It actually counts down on each day. So tomorrow, say 34 days, next day, so on and so forth. Let's talk about some code that I'm proud of. So let's see. Let's open up VS Code. So the code that I'm proud of is creating my API. It was extremely difficult for me starting out. I might have to learn different, router methods. So, router post, router get, router delete, router put. So, just to set up my routes for that, and also create my schema. So if I go into my models folder, I can create my schema here. As you can see, I got my schema created with tons of information in there. And then also, I actually created models and routers for another API, but I commented it out. And what that did basically was it took all of the reviews and it posted it on a different tab, a different page that I had set up for my website as well. But I just didn't like how it looked. It kind of looked like a Google Docs to me. It didn't really look as clean as the rest of the website. It didn't match. So I just commented that out, and then that's where I just went. I started to work on the experience API, where basically with the experience API, I basically had I had everything printing directly to the console. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me go back here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I had a great time at Savvy Coders. Again, something that I would like to implement is those entertainment and sleep pages, a few more APIs. I mean, other than that, that pretty much does it. I appreciate the time. Thank you.